Go.
And we are live on another Wednesday night. Um, Getting our spring weather, Mr. Sis, getting a little spring into the summer weather, my friend.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little sunshine, pal.
A little
Tomorrow's going to
sunshine.
rain again. Yeah,
Um,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Welcome to the K&K Sports Show. We got Kurt, Kenny, Sis, and a lot of green screens tonight. I'm ready to go. I got for almost every segment and a special one for rapid fire with Sis. Again, you're not going to see it now, Sis, but later on, go back. How are you, Mr. Sis?
Good. Very good.
Mr.
Plenty of hours of putting the show together here today. It's always well worth it. Everybody seems to enjoy the rapid fire session.
All right, here we go. And Mr. Kirkpatrick, what are your glasses? You look very studious tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, another year, birthday last week. The eyes are starting to go along with everything else. You get old. Sis knows what that's all about, right?
Are they prescription or are they cheaters, your glasses?
Cheaters.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
look good, though.
I
You
don't
look
use
good.
I use
Got
the
a little
cheaters.
April showers here, but I'm ready to roll.
Here's my cheaters right here.
There you
Right.
go. There you go.
There's my cheaters.
I got to tell you, this past
All you need.
weekend, guys, no basketball, no college. I'm all into the NBA now. I got the iPad rolling here. Knicks, New Orleans, big game. But no college hoops, no football. Baseball is like, ready. It's a different ball game.
I'm getting started with baseball. We're gonna get into that later with Paul coming on, our good friend.
Did you
Paul
see
Mulvaney.
Kenny? Did you see the home run today?
I had to ask my friends upstairs for some roll leads. I got the heartburn from
Unbelievable. The way he threw that pitch, you and Kirk could have put it in
I'm
his
chewing
face.
on right now. I got the heartburn from the.
Yep.
I don't want to get into them.
Threw
So,
it right
Mr.
down the middle of the plate.
So, Mr. Kirkpatrick, what's on the agenda? You worked very hard, long and hard on this agenda tonight. What do we got going?
A little bit of everything. We haven't done a mock draft, so we're going to do a little mock draft. First, like 10 picks. We'll go around the panel, and each one of us will pick a player, and we'll grade that person's pick from A to F. A meaning, of course, you like the pick, and F meaning you don't like the pick. And then we'll do that for a little bit. Then we'll talk a little more about some NFL news. Our always famous rapid fire with Sis. Little Stump Kurt competition we got going this month, me and you. See if I could stump you on either Broncos or Knicks trivia.
Okay, and we're going to start counting them tonight.
Yep.
Okay.
We're bringing back an all-in, I'm out on the fence segment. Of course, we got Briggsy Mania later on. A little NBA news, and of course, MLB news. Paul Mulvaney's been going to join us later for some MLB talk.
Okay, real quick, couple things.
Real quick, before we start any comments, I want to wish one of our listeners and good friends a happy birthday, Mr. Jimmy Eisenman's birthday.
Yes,
today.
Jimmy, happy birthday, Jimmy.
Yep. Happy birthday, Jimmy.
Pop Sean, if he's on now or later, we'll make sure to say happy birthday to him.
Absolutely.
I would like to say one thing also, sir. Mr.
Yes, sir.
Kurt. Let's send out some prayers for Kurt's brother Ryan, who's battling COVID, and Mikey Mush, who's in the hospital, and he has pneumonia. So
Yes.
let's take a moment before you go to bed tonight, whatever, and just say a prayer. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Sis. Couple things real quick I want to get for our first comment. Before we get into comments, I'm going to shock Kenny. You're not going to see this, but on the screen right now, I have a picture of our K&K Sports Show shirts, which they're flying off the handle, flying like Sis is doing an unbelievable job with these shirts. But I just have a picture. We have a light blue, a green, a red. The navy blue is showing. We're actually putting in a second order tomorrow or Friday. So please, everybody, anybody who wants a shirt, reach out. I will get you guys the information. We have long sleeve tees, short sleeve tees. I know Kenny's going to do some polos, but the shirts are awesome looking. And thank you again to Coach Breslin for setting everything up. It looks unbelievable. DMK Apparel. any information, here's the information on DMK Apparel. Again, they do an unbelievable job. We're going to be looking into getting hats, right, Kenny? We're going to be looking to getting lanyards. But again, here's the shirts. Shirts are available, and trust me, they're awesome, and I can't wait to wear them again. Couple comments, Kenny, right out of the gate. Coach Breslin saying, big game Nets Sixers. Knicks is not a big game. LOL, Yankees are bad. Now, here's a great comment from our good friend Henry Zimenoff. And Kenny, if you want to use this for the Broncos Mania tonight, Briggsy Mania, this would be a good topic. Multiple NFL teams, including Denver, they were the first one, have opted to skip the voluntary offseason program again this year for the safety and players of staff. Do you want to get into that, Kenny? The Lions have become the latest team to opt out. Henry just said. You want to get into that in Briggsy Bronco Mania? You want to mention that now? What do you want to do with that?
Let's mention it now because I know Henry flip-flops probably from us to Ticket Time. Our good friend Carson's got a live stream tonight if anybody wants to check him out on YouTube. Ticket Time. You can watch Ticket Time on the big screen and watch us on the laptop or vice versa.
Yep.
Go check him out. Let's get into it now real quick then, since Henry asked a question and brought it up. Yeah, I mean, it's, it's one of them things, depending on, where you are in the country. I mean, look at Texas. They're playing full capacity with fans, and then you got other teams that are canceling their workouts. I get it. We'll see where things go in the upcoming weeks and months, but I think you're going to see a few more teams doing it and less teams having the off-season workouts.
Well, here's my question about it, and somebody made a great point on one of the shows I was listening today is rookie quarterbacks. You draft the Zach Wilson, you draft Trevor Lawrence, the 49ers. Now there's no volunteer. You missed that that's like an original little mini camp already, that volunteer workout. Now you're way behind. There's no, okay, I'm going to do virtual. These quarterbacks better get with the OC, get with these receivers, catch up on their timing. I mean, that's a big blow to these young quarterbacks. You hear everybody keeps saying with Denver, oh, well, Drew Lock didn't have it last year. Well, he ain't going to have it this year. So, you got to catch up. He hasn't played with Cortland Sutton. What are you going to do? It's a problem. It's a problem.
I get it, but if I make any sense, I get it, but I don't get it. I get it from the atmosphere I'm in. I work in a hospital. I'm around it all the time. I get it. But with the part I don't get is a state like Texas is going to, and I'm bringing baseball into this, is going to allow 40,000 fans every day. Florida, Arizona, Texas had spring breaks, a lot of kids. You're not hearing of any major outbreaks. We just had a men's basketball tournament and a women's basketball tournament with only one team out of 128 or 130 teams.
Right.
Even more than combined, one team that had a COVID scare and had to cancel the game. So I get it why they're doing it, precaution. I'm not against it, but I don't know. I'm torn both ways about it. Like I get it. You can't complain about it, but I would like to see some kind of volunteer workout, whether it's separate. You have the quarterbacks practicing separate, and so you don't have a problem like the Broncos had last year. I don't know. Like we'll have to see in the upcoming weeks.
Okay.
I honestly
it's a great point by Henry, and it's a big topic because now more and more teams are doing it. I think more teams are going to continue to do it. So, great question.
What do you think about it, Sis?
I think that it's a smart thing to do right now. It's only April. They don't want people getting sick, obviously, and what's going on. You brought up a great point. I mean, some of these stadiums have 40,000 people in it. It's a roll of the dice, man. I mean, you saw what happened with all these vaccines, now all of a sudden Johnson and Johnson taken off the market, and people getting blood clots and brain hemorrhages, and it's scary, man. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. And again, I think we've talked about this so many times. It's up to the own individual people. I don't look down on anybody that gets the shot, and I don't want anybody looking down on me because I don't believe in the shot. That's me.
Right.
That's me. I haven't had the flu. Thank God up above in 15, 20 years. Last time I got the flu, I got a flu shot. So that's me. But, and again, I love my sister to death. I told her yesterday, like, you got to stop because you're played out. You got your 2 shots. I'm happy nothing happened to you. Kurt's wife got hers. Thank God I said, look at Michael Mush.
Right.
So, again, but enough of that. To get back to your thing, yeah, I think the Denver Bronco guys and a few other teams, yeah, I go along with them. I totally agree with it. I really do.
Henry's also saying with most teams opting out, they can now focus on plans for the 2021 draft in 2 weeks. How many quarterbacks will we see get taken off the board within the first 10 picks? Well, let's do it, Kenny. Let's get right into it. That's a great segue question.
That's a good question.
It's a great question, Henry. We got a little mock draft headed for you. I set this up. We're going to go around the panel, each doing some certain teams. So, Kurt, Sis, we're all in agreement, right? First 2 picks are going to be Trevor Lawrence.
I think he was asking, like, and maybe I'm wrong, Kurt. Was he asking, like, do we think, like the first 8 picks, will they all be quarterbacks?
No, he's saying how many quarterbacks in the first 10? How many quarterbacks?
Oh, the first 10. Okay,
Kenny,
excuse me.
Danielle Colazzo from high school saying, I love the background. So this is the new background. Again, you don't see it, Kenny, but you got to watch it.
I see it. I got my phone on.
You see it? Yeah, I've been working on it, but thank you for that comment. So let's get rolling, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Who's up?
All right, so we're all in agreement, right? Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, top 2 picks.
Yep.
Are we going to go out with okay, so there's 2 right there, Henry. So we're going to put Kurt on the spot, and he's going to pick the San Francisco 49ers. He's up on the mock draft board. He's on the clock.
All right, I'm on the clock, and I'm gonna be honest. If we did this last week,
and then we're gonna grade him, and the audience can grade the pick as well.
Okay. If I would have done this last week, I would have totally done. I gave you a different answer. All right, but here's my reason why. The 49ers traded 3 number ones. I mean, really, this year's number 1 and 2 more. So 3 number ones. Okay.
Right.
When they do that, it's going to be for a quarterback, and they think it's going to be. You really think when you move up this far for a big star quarterback. Okay, they had Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. Again, I think he cost them a Super Bowl. So last week I was going to say, listen, they went up for Mac Jones. I would take Mac Jones. I don't think Kyle Shanahan's going to take Mac Jones. He moved up, and he wants a superstar, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like this player. I would not take him 3. But the San Francisco 49ers are going to go for the gutso and say, hey, I'm taking people. There's still people who have this guy ranked as the number 1 quarterback in the class. I do not see it. I will never do it. But the 49ers in this mock draft are going to take quarterback Justin Fields, Ohio State.
I'm going to grade first, Sis, and then I'll let you go because you're the Alabama fan. I agree with that pick. And the only reason why, Sis, I agree with everything Kurt said. I'm not a fan of Justin Fields. I think it's going to be a mistake. But they do have Jimmy Garoppolo on their roster right now. And Mac Jones is a very similar quarterback.
Yes.
Meaning, like the way they are. Not saying, Garoppolo's better than Jones. Just saying Jones is that style of quarterback. I can't see them trading away 3 first-round picks for the same style of quarterback.
Great point.
And that's what I said last week. And I know we were having some fun last week on it. As a draft pick for what the 49ers need, that style of quarterback, changing their offense around, I give you a B plus. If you were asking me talent wise, I'm going D. I do not think he's the third pick in this draft. But
Right.
because of what the 49ers did, and they need that style of quarterback, I'll go B plus on the rating for that pick.
Right. And here's the other thing I'll say about that. I totally agree with you. If you picked Justin Fields for him, I would give you a D also. But I'm going to say that I think Kyle Shanahan is one of the best, if not the best, offensive mind in the NFL. So he's going to go and he's going to see a player and say, how can I mix my run game and my zone offense with this guy? And you know what? His father did it with RG3. So he, like I said, nothing against Sis. I don't want to hear Sis's comment, but you know, you're not going to move up and give 3 number 1 picks to go get Mac Jones. I just can't see it. We got a comment from 1.0. I would love to see a mobile quarterback in Shanahan's system, but they're giving up a lot to move up. Totally agree, and that's why I think they're gonna gamble with Fields. I do.
I want to hear Sis's comments because I know he followed Mac Jones more than me. So I want Sis's response and his grading on the draft pick.
First of all, my own opinion, I think the first 5 picks in this draft are going to be all quarterbacks, and the reason why I'm hoping that happens, because one of my boys from Alabama could land right into our laps if that's the way it goes down. Getting back to this quarterback pick with Fields at number 3, I got a big question mark there. And the big question mark is this. Name the last quarterback from Ohio State that was really successful in the NFL. So I'm going to stick, even though I'm a huge Bama fan, I'm going to stick with Mr. Jones, going to the 49ers, and I'll give Kurt a C minus.
Okay. Couple comment coming in from our good friend Phil Benanti. Fields, Murray, and Russell Wilson in the same division is scary.
That is. And you throw Matthew Stafford in there, Phil, with the Rams.
Mm-hmm.
That's an up and coming division.
It is.
All right, so Mr. Sis, you're up next. You have the Atlanta Falcons, my friend.
Okay.
Justin Fields at 3, so that leaves you up with the Falcons.
Who I'm going to take Mr. Kyle Pitts from Florida, the tight end, to be their first pick. Did my homework.
Do you think the Falcons? Let me ask you a question because I love the pick. Do you think the Falcons could trade down? There's a lot of rumors about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's even like the Giants. There's always that possibility, but they're talking about this kid Pitts like he's better than Tony Gonzaga. He's better than the kid that what was his name? Played for the Patriots, Kenny. Killed himself.
Oh, Hernandez.
And again, I've said this 100 times. That kid Hernandez, in my opinion, hands down was I don't care about Gronk and all these other tight ends. The kid Ertz from Philly, that kid was hands down the best tight end I've ever seen. Okay, getting back to it. So Mr. Pitts will be my number 1 choice for the Falcons. Do you want my number 2 pick?
No. I'm just gonna do 1 pick. Just.
Okay, fine.
If you have a backup, throw it out there. But Kyle Pitts would be your choice.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this out there because I like this kid, and I think Kurt might agree with me. This kid from Florida, Kyle Trask. He's legit, man.
Oh, okay. So you're talking second round.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's good. You did more homework than me. I like that.
Yeah, if he happens to be there, I don't see why they wouldn't take a shot with him. Again, the kid's legit.
That's a good point.
Kenny, couple comments real quick. Couple comments from Zoli. I agree with Kurt. That's a ton to give up for Mac Jones. I'm not sold on Fields, but his upside makes that gamble. I think they take him. Phil Benanti, he thinks the Falcons trade down. Eddie Murphy saying, good evening, gentlemen. Phil Benanti saying, do the Patriots try and trade up to number 4 for a quarterback? They're the wild card.
Yeah, well, let's answer that real quick, Kurt, but grade Sis first, and then we'll answer Phil's question.
You know what? I'm going to grade Sis with a B+. I'll tell you why. Because, I'm not, again, I am not a big believer on take any one of the 5 quarterbacks. I don't believe that. You can't go in saying I grade all 5 of these guys high. I don't. So right now, Lawrence, Wilson, and Fields are off the board. Are you really going to tell me Atlanta's going to go and say Trey Lance or Mac Jones is that high on the board? You're taking they're saying that this guy is going to be just an unbelievable tight end. You got Ridley, you got Julio, Matt Ryan, and now you're putting this monster Pitts on that team? I'm telling you.
A great point.
Why am I going to go and say, all right, here's Matt Ryan. Well, we're going to keep him for Trey Lance for 2 years. Why? You got Pitts. This kid's unbelievable. Look at that offense. That's not a good offense right out of the gate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give Sis a high B+.
I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go A to A- because I like Sis did 2 rounds, and I like Kyle Trask in the second round. Kyle Pitts, you hit it all on the nail. You hit it all on the head, guys. I mean, you put him on that offense with Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and Ridley, and don't forget Todd Gurley's still running the rock. That's a scary offense.
It is.
That's a scary offense. That's going to
great
the Saints offense that don't have Breeze anymore. It's going to compete with the Bucs offense, who's got Brady, whose age is going to hit him one of these years, and the Panthers, who we have Sam Darnold. So I think the Falcons, if they draft Kyle Pitts, have an excellent chance at not only a wild card for division, like for the NFC, but a sleeper to win the NFC South with this kid. He's that good.
Phil Benanti saying it's a shame the Falcons defense can't stop anyone.
And a little spoiler, Sis, you know what? I didn't think of this. If they do draft Pitts and Trask is their future. He's got his number 1 receiver.
Yep. Yeah, it's a good point. That's a great point. That's great.
That was good. I didn't think of that, Sis. So yeah, I give you an A-. I like the 2 picks.
Yep.
Let's answer Phil's question real quick, Kurt, before I go with the Bengals. So he wanted to know if the Patriots are going to trade up to number 4. Was that the question?
Yes.
If they like Mac Jones that much and it falls Justin Fields, I could see him doing it for Mac Jones because that's Belichick's type of quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Mac Jones. But Mac Jones is, if the 49ers go and draft Mac Jones, I'm going to say no. But if the 49ers draft Fields or Lance and Mac Jones is sitting there, I could see the Patriots moving up. What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I mean, same thing. Again, Belichick, listen, it has to burn Belichick that he saw Brady and Gronk and those guys partying on boats winning the Super Bowl. And he had a little egg on his face last year. I know they got Cam, but like you're saying, if he likes his guy, what's it gonna cost them? It's definitely probably gonna cost. I mean, they're coming up high, so they're gonna have to give him definitely a number 1 next year. It's gonna have to be at least one, maybe a 2 this year. So, I'm gonna say no right now, but it's a possibility.
You think they'll move up, Sis?
I think you totally nailed it. If the 49ers take Jones, there's no way Belichick is going to trade up for Justin Fields. You nailed that right across the board, and that's the perfect storm right there. You nailed it,
Kenny. The thing the thing I will say about this is that there's still a lot of teams that have a potential need for quarterback. Right? You got New England, you still got Carolina, you got Denver. Right? So, with those lot of teams, you're going to get into a bidding war. So, Atlanta might not be like, now you have 3 teams trying to get up and New England's coming from all the way from, what are they, 15 or whatever they are. They're, it might get crazy where it's like, wait, you're going to give me 2 future ones? This year's number 2, a swap of what, like, you don't know. When there's 3 teams and it's like, hey, well, they're doing this. What do you want to do? Well, just so you know,
if I'm Atlanta, I want one of their defensive players too. I don't want just draft picks. I got to build my defense. So give me one of your defensive leaders along with that.
Right. Zoli's making a great point, saying the Patriots won't give up multiple first-rounders to get up to 4, though. That's one spot behind San Francisco, and they gave up a ton. Atlanta will ask for a similar haul.
Yep.
So
I agree.
So
I think that's a lot to move up, but I do not see them, like Sis said, not seeing moving up for Fields or Lance. No way.
Right.
Maybe Jones if they like Jones that much. I'll do the Bengals, and I'll go a little fast on the Bengals here.
Okay.
I think, you got your future quarterback. They just lost A.J. Green free agency. I think they're going to go wide receiver. Yeah, there's talks they can go offensive line here too. But I think they pair Mr. Burrow up with his number 1 receiver from LSU, Mr. Jamar Chase. Sis, you want to grade me?
You're going with Chase for the Bengals?
Yeah.
B+. I agree. That they need.
So they're going to pair him with Higgins. You got nice young receivers there, Higgins and Boyd. Still got Joe Mixon.
Yep.
What about it, Kurt?
This is tough because, listen, they need a wideout. They got to give him a weapon, right? You're giving him a stud in Chase. But he absolutely got destroyed last year behind that terrible offensive line. So,
that being said,
I'm going to give you a B because I would think they would take Sewell from Oregon. I don't hate Chase. Again, I like the idea of getting him a weapon, but, they have to protect this kid. He got absolutely destroyed. And our friend, I'm going to read a comment from our friend Marty from Intercept Your Lunch. Again, we were on his show last week and did an awesome job with us. Thank you again. Bengals have to go offensive tackle. Kenny going D. Burrow tore his ACL. He needs a line. We got a Maria O'Connor Crispiano saying, hey. Hello, Maria.
Friend of mine.
I really wanted to go offensive line here, but I'm a firm believer in get the young quarterbacks. I didn't mean to cut you off, Kurt.
Okay.
Get the young quarterbacks with a receiver that they've known in college if they're that good. And Chase is sitting there for Burrow, can have him for the next 10 years, that combo. I'll take that. I know we say offensive line. I get what Marty's saying, and I agree with that 100%. But I think this may be too good to pass up for the Bengals. I'm
going to say this. Eddie's saying Burrow has been lobbying for Chase. I read somewhere. Zoli saying, and then Burrow gets hurt again because the O-line is a dumpster fire. Have to go Sewell too for me. See, here's the thing. How high do they have Sewell? If they have him rated as a can't-miss prospect, take the tackle, get yourself a Rondell Moore, a receiver later. That's the
one
key.
Thing. Let me play devil's advocate here. Henry, our good friend Henry, had mentioned all the teams opting out on the voluntary workouts. Don't forget, Penei Sewell. If you're going to take offensive line, you might want to go Slater here, believe it or not, because Penei Sewell, and that goes for Jamar Chase too, they both opted out last year. So now you're looking at a year and a half of these guys not playing any football activities. And you're going to put him on the line going into week 1. I'd be a little nervous about that, protecting my franchise quarterback. So we'll see. We'll see. So that was my pick. I didn't hear what you graded me, Kurt.
I'm going to give you a B.
He gave you a B. I gave you a B+. Yep.
All right. Kurt, you're up with the Dolphins. We'll try and pick this up a little bit.
All right, I'll make it quick with the Dolphins. Tua is their future. They obviously they're not going to go quarterback. They've I mean, maybe with the Deshaun Watson if that comes back.
Now, just a little reminder, guys. We're doing this like we're doing this like a real mock draft. So I took Jamar Chase. You can't take Jamar Chase.
Right. Okay. So with the Dolphins,
he's off the board.
I'm going to give Tua a weapon. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I would have gone Pitts if he was still there, but Sis took him with Atlanta. Great pick. And I'm going to give him one of his boys. And it's not going to be Devontae Smith. It's going to be the other Alabama receiver. I'm going to take Jalen Waddle for the Dolphins to give Tua a weapon. It's his guy. And away the Dolphins go.
I'll grade you real quick. I'm going to give you a B on that, B+. I think Waddle's the right move there. I think he'd be more familiar with Waddle over Smith. And I just said it with the Bengals, so I'm echoing my words. Give that young quarterback a receiver they are familiar with for the next 10 years. Sign me up for that any day of the week. Give me Jalen Waddle. I like the pick. B+.
Okay.
Sis.
I like the pick. I'm going to give you a little friendly reminder. Mr. Devontae Smith caught the winning touchdown off of who in the national championship game. So I'm going to give Mr. Valenti a B, but I'm going to disagree. Waddle's going to our Giants, Kenny, and Mr. Devontae Smith is going to the Lions.
Okay.
So then you're up next with the Lions. You just said who you're picking for the Lions.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
We're having a discussion about that. Now,
okay.
This is very interesting because this kid Parsons from Penn State is a beast. Now, here's my only concern with him. He's got character issues. I was a coach. Kurt was a coach. I'm not big on players that have character issues. But the way the NFL is, they'll go like this. They'll look the other way. And I'm going to stick with it. The Lions are going to take Parsons from Penn State.
Give you a B-, sis. I think this would be a good spot for the Lions to trade. You got two quarterbacks on the board yet, Mac Jones and Trey Lance. I think they'd be receiving a lot of calls if both those quarterbacks were on the board. But I do like the pick. The Lions need everything. They need offense and defense. So get a defensive leader. When everybody's saying offense they're going to pick, give them that defensive leader. So I agree with the pick if they do not trade it. So I do like it.
Carson's team's in trouble.
Yep. Kurt, what about you? What's your thought?
I'm going to say this. I hope Sis is wrong because I want him. Whoever gets him is getting Defensive Rookie of the Year. Remember, Levante David, Devin White, you saw it in the Super Bowl. There's not many players like this. I know Sis says he's got character issues, but just like Sis goes, that's what a lot of teams are going to do. I would give Sis an A+. Whoever picks this kid, the kid's a stud, man. Stud.
Yeah, he is. He's a beast. He's a beast. Kenny,
couple questions. Zoli saying Parsons to Denver. I hope. And Henry Ziminoff, do you think that we're going to get to Denver in a second? Do you think Denver would take another quarterback to begin their competition, or would it be a big mishap? Honestly, I want the Broncos back in the playoffs. We're going to pick them.
I'm going to do the Panthers real quick, and we'll do the Broncos. They're up after the Panthers. I'll do them real quick. This is tough. There's two quarterbacks on the board. You got Sam Darnold. You got the offensive lineman on the board. If I'm not doing this with trades, this would be a perfect spot for me to trade down, but I'm going to go the Panthers are not going to trade this pick, and they are going to take the number one offensive ranked lineman in this draft, Penei Sewell, at this pick.
Okay.
Kurt, my grade.
All right. Your grade, I'm going to give you a B plus. I mean, again, this guy was supposed to be a top 3 player in the draft. All of a sudden, he's fallen. Why? Because he's not a quarterback and he's not a high profile receiver. I think he's one of the guys that he's, you don't have to worry about him. He's going to be probably a starter from day one for 10 to 12 years. I'm giving you a B plus.
What about it, sis? What's my grade?
Yep, B plus, and they definitely need help up front. And I think it would be, and I agree with you, I think it would be a huge mistake for them to trade down. A huge mistake. So I'll give you a B plus on that.
All right. And Kurt and Henry's Broncos are up. So Henry, I hope you're listening out there. Be important. And Zoli, I know you're out
by
there.
the way, Matt Staffiero saying a B plus on that.
And Matt's another Bronco fan. The all-important Bronco draft pick is up, and Mr. Valenti, future GM of the Broncos, is on the clock.
All right, here's what I'm going to do. Before I make my pick, Zoli's a Bronco fan, Henry's a Bronco fan, Matt Staffiero's a Bronco fan. If they went off this board, remember, Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, Pitts, Chase, Waddle, Parsons, Sewell. Okay? So I'm going to wait a minute, see what they want to do. Now, can I trade or I can't trade?
Let's do this one without trades. Next week, we'll do a full mock draft with trades.
Okay. Henry's also saying, so if Denver were to draft Trey Lance, the quarterback out of North Dakota State, it's that right team name. Would Denver be able to become a Super Bowl contender, or would there be something missing? Wow. Listen, I really want Parsons. I'm going to be honest. Trey Lance, Mac Jones, Denver's on the board. Matt Stafford, yes, Denver's on the board, Matt. What would you do? Lawrence, Wilson, Fields, Pitts, Chase, Waddle, Parsons, Sewell are gone. On the board is Patrick Surtain, Trey Lance, Mac Jones, a couple other linemen. We can't trade down tonight, Kenny said, right? We're not going to trade down.
No, we'll do that next week. We're only going up to the Eagles at 12 this week. Next week, we'll have a full mock draft with some guests.
Okay, so I'm interested to see what these guys are going to do. If I can't, my first reaction is to trade down. Okay? Matt Staffiero saying Lance would be the pick against better judgment. I'd go Mac Jones, safer pick in my opinion.
We'll throw your pick out there, Kurt, and then we'll listen to everybody else who's on the Broncos.
What I think they're going to do? You're asking me what I think they're going to do.
Well, with the way this board's shaped out, what are they going to do?
Make a pick.
You're going to lose your pick like the Vikings did if you don't make that pick soon.
I don't want to say this. The Denver Broncos are going to draft quarterback Trey Lance.
Wow.
Over Mac Jones.
Shocker.
You didn't ask me what I would do. You didn't ask me what I would do. You said to me, I can't trade down. And
no, you're the Bronco GM. You can't trade down, though.
Oh, I'm the Bronco. Well, but I didn't. If I was the 49ers, I wouldn't take Justin Fields. I acted how would I think the 49ers.
Yeah, we're doing it. This week we're doing it like next week we do it like we're the GM. You're right.
The Broncos are going to take Trey Lance. And I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad.
I'll grade that pick first. C-. The reason why is we're talking about Mac Jones going number 3, and Trey Lance is an unknown. Can't let Mac Jones slide there. If you're taking a quarterback, it's got to be Mac Jones. If he falls into your lap, he's got Jerry Jeudy. He's familiar with Jerry Jeudy over there. Again, echoing the words, quarterback familiar with their receivers. And give them those weapons that in Denver over Trey Lance. I take Mac Jones.
So would I. But I don't think they're gonna.
Minus on the pick. I think Mac Jones is the better quarterback of the two. Sis.
Like, remember when we were in high school, you got the deficiency notices when you were on the bubble between a D and an F?
Yep.
Kurt's getting a deficiency notice with a D. And the only reason why I'm saying this kid, Trey Lance, he only played like 16 games. So, again, I not because I'm a Bama fan, but if you're gonna go by a seasoned kid, that played a lot of games against top-notch competition, I'm not taking this kid.
Sis, I agree with you. Matt Staffriero's saying I'm giving it a C. He's also saying he has the highest ceiling. Trey Lance has the highest ceiling out of the quarterbacks outside of Trevor Lawrence, but he also has the highest bust potential out of the quarterback class. I agree with
totally
that.
agree with
Not
that.
mocking the Broncos, sis, and Kurt and Matt and everybody else, not mocking the Broncos. Their track record, you don't want the quarterback with the highest bust potential.
No, but here's the thing, Kenny, and I'm going to tell you why. There's all this talk, and again, it's not about radio and stuff like that, but there's a lot of talk, a lot of pressure on Peyton. Drew Lock, there's still a lot of question marks. Listen, I told you day one, I would wait out Deshaun Watson, wait out Aaron Rodgers. There's still people who say Aaron Rodgers might not even this year play for the Packers. Wait that out. That's what I would want to do. But you know what? If you don't have to move up and a quarterback falls to you, there's going to be a lot of pressure on them to pass that up. I agree with you. It's wrong to pick them, but they may.
I agree. I'm going to do the Cowboys really fast, and then we got the Giants and Eagles to wrap it up.
Okay.
Cowboys is a simple pick for me. He fell right into their laps like expected. Patrick Surtain to the Cowboys in this mock draft. Fell right into their laps. And that's the guy they wanted all along, in my opinion. I'll go Patrick Surtain here.
Okay. Matt Staffiero.
Simple, safe pick. Cowboys take Patrick Surtain.
Yeah. B plus. I'll give you a B plus. They need corners. He's the best one in the draft, and you don't have to move up to get him. Great pick.
Yeah. Yes.
I'll give you an A minus. That kid's a baller.
Yeah. Yep. Simple pick. Very simple. Yep. Easiest pick of the board. Easiest pick of the night. Patrick Surtain.
Matt Staffiero's giving you an A.
Thank you, Matt. Mr. Sis, our Giants are on the clock. The new GM of the New York Giants, Mr. Eddie Siciliano, and his first pick for the New York Giants will be.
There's no doubt about it in my mind. If he's there, you guys remember a little guy named Phil McConkey, fleet receiver? Again, I like Waddle. If Devontae's there, he will be a Giant.
I'm going to go if Devontae's there and Mr. Siciliano drafts him, A+. Another weapon on that Giants offense.
Thank you.
Sign me up. A+. Love the pick.
Thank you.
All right.
He's going to disagree.
No, I'm not. I'm going to go if he's there and Waddle's gone, and I'm going to give you again. Galladay, Smith with Barkley. Sis, I'm going to give you an A.
Oh, wow. That's a shocker.
Coach Breslin saying he agrees. He says Surtain is really a good player. Matt Staffiero saying expect Farley from Virginia Tech to drop. Too many medical concerns, in my opinion.
Agree. That's another good point. Another player that opted out last year. And if a lot of these teams are holding out their season workouts, these players may drop even more. Kurt, you're up with the last pick of our mock draft. Next week we'll do
I'm up.
Next week we'll do a more. We'll have more people on next week. We'll do a full round next week and have some fun next week.
Okay.
But, you got the Eagles. We'll wrap it up with the Eagles.
All right, real quick. Eddie Murphy saying if Smith or Waddle aren't there, I trade back unless Parsons is there. Matt Staffiero's giving the Giants a B. Coach Breslin saying, I think Devontae could be there if 5 quarterbacks go. I agree. Matt Staffiero, and I said this last week, the kid Horn, the corner from South Carolina, is on the rise. He may jump far.
A lot of good things about him.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, your last team for me was, who was it?
Eagles.
See, Eagles are tough. Like, Eagles, I want to take a receiver. Am I going to go and take, I don't know, Moore from Purdue is jumping up a lot of boards, but that's high.
If we were doing a mock draft with trades, this would be a perfect trade spot.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go with
got a quarterback on the board.
You know what? I'm going to go with Matt Staffiero. I'm going to take a corner. I'm going to take Horn out of South Carolina.
A solid pick. In this draft, I would say I'll give it a B. If we were having a mock draft with trades, you would have to trade this pick.
Yeah. But you said I can't trade.
But this is one without trades, so I give it a solid B. I like the kid. I think he's got a lot of upside. And we all know that the Eagles are hurting in the secondary. And all joking aside, you got Kenny Golladay, you got McLaurin, and you got Cooper. So you got 3 number 1 wide receivers in the NFC East that you're gonna have. You need a shutdown corner. So
Matt Staffiero's giving me a B, saying don't do it, Philly. They need Darashaw, the offensive lineman. They do need a lineman.
They need O-line too, but if that's why I would trade down if we were doing trade down here, because Trey Lance is on that board. They're going to receive a lot of calls for Trey Lance. You can't pass that up, and whoever gives me the best picks for Lance, I would go there. But this is without trade, so solid B.
Okay.
Wrap it up, sis. Give us a grade. Kurt's pick of Mr. J.C. Horn, the corner out of South Carolina.
I give him a B.
Solid pick.
Solid pick. Yep.
Agree. All right, I think that's going to wrap up this short little top 10. So to answer Henry's question, if he's still listening there, if we were the GMs and we were drafting, we had 4 quarterbacks going in the top 10. Trey Lance is still there. Trey Lance is still on the board. But if there were trades, I think a team would have. I think we're all in agreement. A team would have traded up for Trey Lance in the top 10.
Yeah.
So if I had to guess, I'm going to say draft night, 5 quarterbacks will be taken in the top 10. I won't be surprised though if one slips out of the top 10, whether it be Mac Jones or Trey Lance. I think one of those 2 will slip out of the top 10.
Okay.
Possible. All right.
Eddie Murphy has a question. He's saying, how deep is the O-line in this draft?
I think it's pretty deep. I mean, it's not as deep at the top, but it's deep in the late to middle rounds. Late first round and middle rounds, there's a lot of good potential picks there. Christian Darrisaw, I think he's going to be a stud. Elijah Vera Tucker in the first round, I think he's going to be a stud. Can't think of the kid's name off the top of my head, sis. He's an Alabama lineman. I think he's going to be good.
Something with an L.
Yeah, I know you're
something
talking
with an
about.
L. I can't think of
So
it.
this, and then there's a Division II prospect out there that they showed him lifting like out in the countryside, lifting like water jugs. It showed him lift, like his workout was like country boy workout. It was pretty cool seeing that.
Kenny, Matt Staffiero saying deep, tackle heavy, developmental guys. Vera Tucker looks like a stud. So
yeah. But yeah, I could see this being a nice little sleeper late first round to third round. Solid offensive lineman coming off the board, in my opinion.
Alex Leatherwood, that's the Alabama kid.
Alex Leatherwood.
Thank you, Matt.
Leatherwood, yep. Thank you.
Thank you. I got one real quick question about Deshaun Watson, and we'll get into this is rapid fire, the popular, always popular rapid fire. Deshaun Watson, a 1 and a 1A question. First question I have for you in the audience: does he play next year? Kurt?
Does he play? Yes.
Okay. Sis, does he play next year at all?
You know, that's a really tough one, man. He's got charges hanging over his head, and if he gets charged with anything, obviously he's not going to be able to play. I'm going to say he doesn't play.
Okay.
You know what? I want to Matt Staffiero just made me change my mind. He said not likely. I'm going to go with no too. I can change my mind, and I have a reason why. Yeah. Can I tell you real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if his draft stock right now is going to be high, and I don't think he's going to play for the Texans. So I think he will be able to play, eligible to play, but I think they're going to trade him next offseason. So I think he's going to hold his guns and say, I'm not playing for the Texans. I think you're going to get teams who are going to give really low ball offers for him. So I think the Texans are going to say, we'll revisit this come next March and April and make a deal. So I think he will be able to, but he will not.
I'm going to say he doesn't play as well, but if he did play, I'm going to say he does play for the Texans, and I'm going to tell you why. A guy that had all these charges on him, if he gets exonerated, he's able to play, and these charges get dropped. Are you, as a player, going to refuse to play for that team when you just had a ton of charges faced against you, and you're already in the doghouse of many teams? Are you going to refuse to play for that team and make yourself look even worse? So I say if he is allowed to play, he plays for the Texans. But I'm going to say no. If I had to pick, it's no. But if you see him play, it will be on the Texans next year.
Okay.
All right. I think that wraps up the mock draft NFL segment of tonight's show.
Very good segment, Kenny.
Mr. Siciliano, are you ready for, I should
Rapid
say,
fire?
are you ready? Are you ready for rapid fire?
Well, if I'm ready, you're asking me if I'm ready for rapid fire. Kenny, you said you're watching the show on another device. Just look at the background screen and you tell me if I'm ready for rapid fire.
All right, give me 1 second.
That's all I'm going to tell you, and that should be your answer. With the green screen.
I might be a little behind. I'm seeing NFL logos.
Okay, just give it a second because you're watching it on YouTube, but it'll come up. And that should just be your answer, yes or no.
All right.
If we're ready for rapid fire.
Trying to find it.
Mr. Sis, tomorrow or after the show, please, you're going to go back and look because you're going to love this screen.
There it is. There it is.
So am I ready for rapid fire?
You're ready for rapid fire. I love it.
All right, we're going to start with Mr. Valenti tonight. These are all yes and no answers, no commentary, no nothing. Now, being a pro athlete and getting paid millions of dollars, should Hicks have sat out on Saturday because of the Minnesota incident? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, Kenny?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, we'll go to Kenny first. Will Mr. Aaron Judge be in the lineup within the next month? Yes or no?
No. He'll have some games out.
Kurt?
This is for Paul. No, he's going to get injured again. Nope.
Okay. We'll go back to Kurt. Does Tampa Bay have the Yankees number?
Yes.
Kenny?
101% yes.
Okay, we'll go to number 4. We'll go to Kenny. Does Waddle go to the Giants? Now, don't go back on what you said before.
No.
Kurt?
No, he's going to go earlier.
Okay. Number 5, we'll go to Mr. Valenti because he likes this guy. Will Justin Fields be the third quarterback off the board? Yes or no?
Coach Breslin, by the way, is saying nice background. You got to see it, sis. It's awesome.
Nope.
I wouldn't do it, but he's going to be, yeah.
So your answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay, Kenny?
Agree with Kurt, yes.
We'll go to Kenny again. Mr. Penn State's Parson, will team shy away from him because of character issues? Yes or no?
Yes.
Kurt?
Yeah, somebody will, yes.
Okay. Number 7, we'll go to Kurt. You guys never heard of this kid, but will the offensive lineman from Wisconsin, Whitewater, and he's a guard. He's probably going to be like a 76 pick if he goes, but will he go to the Giants?
I'm going to say no. I think that no.
Okay. Kenny?
I'll say yes, just to be bold.
Okay.
Matt's the real
We'll
couple
go to-
quick questions. Coach Breslin's saying, yes, I think he will drop because of character issues. Matt Staffiero saying Jones is number 3. Carolina makes sense for Parsons. I hope not.
Taking over for Luke Kuechly over there.
We'll go to Mr. Valenti for number 8. Who has the bigger game tonight? Zion or Jay Barrett? Yes or no?
I'm kind of cheating, and Zion looks unguardable, so
Well,
I'm going to
first,
say Zion.
it's a two-parter. Is it Zion, yes or no?
Zion.
So you're saying RJ, no.
RJ, no, yeah.
Okay. Kenny, same thing.
I'll throw RJ out there just to be different.
Okay.
Coach Breslin says he thinks the Giants draft a lineman in round 2.
What did he say?
He thinks the Giants are going to draft an offensive lineman in the 2nd round.
Okay. We'll go to Kenny. Is Giancarlo Stanton better than Judge? Yes or no?
No, I fraud Slade Stanton, so no.
Okay. Kurt?
Yep. Stanton's the better overall ball player, yes.
We'll go to Kenny first for number 10. Will Mr. Valenti be happy with Denver's first pick in this year's draft? Yes or no?
And oh, when it's Justin Fields or Trey Lance. No.
Kurt. Kurt, yes or no?
I'm really afraid that I have to totally agree with Kenny because I don't know, man. Listen, I want Parsons. It's what we need on defense. So I'm going to say I will not be happy because I think that we're going to go quarterback.
Okay, we're going to go right back to the same question for Mr. Kirkpatrick, the Giants. Will you be happy with the first pick of the New York Giants, Mr. Kirkpatrick? Yes or no?
I think I will, yes.
Okay. Kurt?
Yes, I think he will too. And I think you will too.
Okay. We'll go to Kurt with this one. Will Zach Wilson win 8 games? Yes or no?
No.
Kenny?
No, not yet. No.
Okay.
Now Matt Staffiero, big Bronco fan, Kenny, saying he doesn't want Parsons. He wants a quarterback or he wants a trade back. So
I think trade back's your best option at that number. If a quarterback drops, trade back, and then you get your Parsons or defensive stud.
Matt's saying Wilson will win 3 to 4 games this year.
Okay. Kenny, will the new Jets head coach Robert Saleh have the Jets in the playoffs in 3 years? Yes or no?
Yes, I like this coach. Yes.
Kurt?
Yeah, I agree. Yes.
No, Kurt's going to love the next one. This is Kurt first. Will Edelman play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Yes or no?
At some point this year, absolutely.
Kenny?
100% agree with Kurt. Yes.
Matt Staffiero said yes, exclamation point, sis, to your question about will Saleh have the Jets in the playoffs in 3 years. So he's a big believer.
Okay. Kurt, is CNN fake news? Yes or no?
1,000,000%.
Okay, that's it. Kenny?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Will the Johnson & Johnson shot get more people to think about taking the vaccine this year? Yes
Matt
or no?
Staffiero, he said ha 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 in that question, sis. That was a great one.
Kenny? Will the Johnson & Johnson shot, what happened recently, will more people put more thought about it before getting a shot now? Yes or no?
I know it's rapid fire. I'm just gonna say yes, but I got the Moderna shot, and I've had no complaints
Thank
about
God you didn't. Thank God you didn't.
it. And
Kurt,
I know people are hesitant, but I think this will have people hesitant on
so
getting.
you're saying yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Kurt,
I think, yeah. I think it will definitely make people hesitant.
we'll go to Kurt with this one. Is Governor Como in the same league with Sonny Corleone? Yes or no?
I'm just gonna-
Wait, sis. For those who don't know who Governor Como is, he's the governor of New York.
Is he in the same league with Sonny Corleone, Kurt? Yes or no?
he's not in the same league, but I think he's in major trouble. I'll say that.
Okay. Kenny?
No, he shines. He's shining Samuel Corleone's shoes. No.
Okay. The last rapid fire question of the yes and no for this evening, Kenny. Michael Carter, running back from North Carolina, be a Jet? Yes or no?
That's a great question, sis.
Thank you.
I'll say yes because they'll take a running back later round. Yes, I'm going to say yes.
Kurt?
Jets are definitely taking a running back. I know on our show with Marty on Intercept Your Lunch, I went ETN going there, so I'm going to say no, but it wouldn't surprise me the Jets are going to take a running back high.
I totally agree with both of you. All right, gentlemen.
Awesome job, sis. Awesome job.
Great job.
Now I'm going to throw a running back out there that nobody's talked about that could be a deep sleeper in this draft. And he was highly regarded in college this past year, and then they had a couple down games. Chuba Hubbard. Watch out for him. Nobody's talking about him.
You want to laugh, Kenny? I read this one Denver Bronco blog, and it had 3 players to avoid, and he was one of them.
Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
All joking aside, why is he?
No, I know. It was just saying because they're saying there's a lot more better, like the Carolina kids, like Sis mentioned, and it was just saying, it was just funny you said that because I saw it today.
All right, Kurt, I'm going to break it up a little bit. Since we're I'm going to throw in a little Stump Kurt. Since Matt's still listening, Matt can play along.
Okay.
I'm going to do Stump Kurt right now, if that's okay.
Sure. What are we?
Are
we going to start? Are we doing one more preseason week, or are we going to start tonight?
Let's start tonight because I have 2 questions for you. I think they're fair questions.
Okay.
All right. And Matt, you could play along, and Kurt, Matt could play along, and anybody else who wants to play along, you get their answers as well. We'll allow. All right. So I got 2 questions for Kurt tonight.
I'm writing down with my pen. No cheating.
Yep. Denver Bronco questions.
Okay.
First question I have for you.
Yep.
Give me since 1990.
Yeah.
1990, 12 Denver Broncos rushed for over 1,000 yards or more in a season. I want you to name the 12. You don't have to give me the year. I'll give you the year, and I'll give you the yards.
Okay, now just real quick, does a guy count twice?
No. 12 different players. 12,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go, Matt. Let's go. So obviously we got Terrell Davis.
Terrell Davis's best year was 1998, 2,008 yards.
Okay, we got Philip Lindsay.
Philip Lindsay, 2018, 1,037 yards.
We got Mike Anderson.
Mike Anderson in 2000, 1,487 yards.
We got Clinton Portis.
Clinton Portis in 2003, 1,591 yards.
We got Orlandis Gary.
Very good. Orlandis Gary in 1999, 1,159.
I'm going out on a limb here. Did Ruben Drones...
Matt's throwing one out there.
Yes.
Give
no
us,
Sean Moreno.
Out there.
No Sean Moreno.
No Sean Moreno. 2013, 1,038.
I'm going to go Ruben Drones.
Very good. That was a tough one. 2004, 1,240 yards.
Okay.
Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left.
Okay. I'm going to go Bobby Humphrey.
Great job. 1,202 yards in 1990.
Matt's throwing another one out. Willis McGahee.
Good job, Matt. 2011, 1199.
Okay.
The hint I'll give you guys a hint.
Go ahead.
One was in the 90s. This one's hard. One was in the 90s.
I
One was
know
in
who
the
that is.
2000s.
I know who that is. I'm going to take a shot right now. Is that
Okay.
Gaston Green?
Woo, you are good. 1,037 yards.
Okay.
You got one in the 2000s and one in the 2010s. One was recent and one was in the 2000s.
Okay. Wow. All right. So one was in the 2000s.
It's tough.
Hold on. It's not Tatum Bell, right?
You're asking me a question I can't answer.
All right. Hold on. So wait. Tatum Bell.
You want to go with Tatum Bell? Yes or no?
Hold on. And you're saying one was in the 2010s? Like
yeah,
in
this
the
one
last...
might throw you off. The hint I'll tell you is you already said this name once. Part of this name. Part of the name you said.
How the hell did I say part of the name?
Same name as somebody else.
Same first name?
Same, the other name. Same last name.
Same last name.
Same last name as one of the guys who did it.
Well, it's got to be...
Well, I'm going to give you the point for this one because you did better than I thought. I forgot to tell you, I wanted you to get 9 out of the 12.
Okay.
You got 10 out of the 12, so I'm going to help you with these last two.
Good.
You asked the question if it was Tatum Bell did do it in 2006.
Okay, that was a good guess, wasn't it?
1,025 yards.
Okay. And then so you're saying there's one in the last 10 years.
There's one that barely did it, 1,007 yards. The year, I'll give you the year, 2017. No, Selwyn.
Oh, then that's CJ Anderson.
There it is, because you said Mike Anderson. I was telling you same.
Okay.
Week. Very good. I'll give you the point for that one. So you're 1-0.
All right, good. Thank you, Matt, for the help.
And the second question I have tonight is a shorter one, sis. I want the top 5 Bronco quarterbacks with the most 300-yard games. So, you don't have to give me the number. I want the 5 Bronco quarterbacks with the most 300-yard games. Not in the history, but since their first Super Bowl. Since the Super Bowl against the Giants, I should say.
Okay, but they're only going to be on once if they did it more than once, right?
Once.
Okay.
So, and I'll give you the number of how many games they threw.
Okay, Peyton Manning has to definitely be on there.
He was number 2 with 22 300-yard games. Or
Jake
more.
Snake.
Oh, wait.
Jake
So are you
Snake.
saying how many 300? Are you saying the top 5 games or how many top 300s?
The top 300s, so Peyton Manning did it 22 times. He's number 2 on the list.
Okay, so Elway, like Matt's saying, F obviously has to be on there.
That was obviously number 4. Now, Sis threw one out there. You can use it or not.
Who'd he say?
He said Plummer.
All right, I'm gonna, and then Matt's saying Greasy. I'm gonna write these guys down. Tebow, it's not. I mean, there's been Gus Frerotte.
This one I do want all 5 because I think the Elway and Manning, that was kind of easy. So it's kind of like asking you for 3.
And this is from 86 up.
I'll give you 2 strikes on this one. So you get two shots at it. So if you want to use one of their answers, you can. And it won't count against you. It'll count as just one. I'll give you 3 strikes since you have people helping you. So if you want to use one of those, you can.
I'm just writing down the quarterback. I mean, we've had a lot of quarterbacks.
Too many.
I'm gonna go on my own and say Jay Cutler.
Cutler was number 4. He had 10.
Okay. I will go with Sis. You know what? I'm going to go with my two guys. I'm going to go Sis with Plummer and Matt with Greasy.
Okay, Sis, strike one for you, Kurt. Plummer was not on that top 5 list. He just missed it. Number 7. I think he had 6 300-yard games.
Greasy is on it?
He wasn't there that long. That's why.
Okay, Greasy is on
But
it.
I will tell you, Matt Staffiero hit the number 3 guy on the list. Greasy had 12.
So one more.
Now, one guy left with 2 strikes to go.
And what number is this guy? 5?
Number 5. I'll give you the number of 300-yard games he had.
Okay.
9. 9 total. He did it 9 times. He threw for over 300 yards.
Oh my God. And Matt, I mean, is it Trevor Siemian?
You got some names coming out.
I got Kyle Orton and Trevor Siemian.
And Matt's throwing Orton out there too.
All right, so let's go with those two. I got 2 more strikes, Orton or Siemian.
Trevor Siemian, strike 2.
Ah.
Mr. Kyle Orton, you are 2-0, my friend.
Wow, thank you guys.
Good job,
Phil and Matt, great
Matt.
job, sis, great job.
Kyle Orton did it 9 times. You swept the board tonight, Mr. Valenti.
All right. That's the regular season, so we'll make a chart. So 2-0 tonight.
Nice job, guys.
Great job.
Good job. Thanks for chipping in. So that leads us into the 9 o'clock hour, Kurt. We're a few minutes behind. I know we're going to have Paul coming on soon to talk about MLB, but you were bringing back a familiar segment for everybody. You are bringing back All In on the Fence or I'm Out.
Yeah, I'm going to make mine very simple. You know, I said tonight, Jen, Kenny's giving me the segment back. What do you think of this one? She says, I like it. So we're going to go with it. When Hoop says she likes it, we go with it.
Hoop likes it, we're going to like it.
We're going to like it, okay? So we're in the draft season, you know, and I'm gonna say whether it's NBA or I'm even gonna go NFL, right? But we're gonna go more NFL. You know, there's so many people that are with the value or you can't reach or you can't do this. Here's my thing. I need a running back, whatever team I am. Okay? People say you can't take a running back. No way. But Sis's boy Najee Harris is a stud. Okay? But you can't take a running back over an offensive tackle. You can't take a running back over a defensive tackle or a corner. No, you're wrong. You know, same thing with you can't take Emmanuel Quickly at number 7. He's supposed to be going at number 10 or number 20. Wrong. You know, I'm all in. If you like that guy, I don't care. Running back shouldn't be here. You shouldn't pass a tackle for him. It's too high. Same thing with the quarterbacks. You know, Kyle Trask isn't a number 1 pick. But if I'm doing my board and Kyle Trask is the number 3 quarterback on my board, why can't I take him? Why is that a stupid pick? Why? What happens now when he comes out and Kyle Trask is the best quarterback in that draft? Then all of a sudden it's, look at the genius that took him in the 4th round. But why can't I take him in the late 1st round? It's a reach. Why is it a reach? Why is it a reach to take Najee Harris? You look at Christian McCaffrey. Would you take Christian McCaffrey on your team?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you have Saquon Barkley? Do you like that?
Yep.
Did you like Zeke Elliott? Did you like playing against Zeke Elliott for the past 10 years?
No.
No, right? Derrick Henry. So why can't a running back go high? I don't understand this whole reach thing. Like, I don't believe it. Same thing with, he's not the top 5 rated quarterbacks. It doesn't matter. It's what I want to rate him. I want a running back. That kid Harris from Alabama is an absolute stud. Why do I have to watch the Baltimore Ravens draft him at 23 and he's a monster, but I didn't take him at 12 because I had to take a quote-unquote defensive tackle who's not even in my rotation. But because the right thing to do is take the D tackle over the running back. So that's what I did. Why? Give me Najee Harris. Put him as my running back. I don't care if I take him at 10. I don't care if I take him at 9. Denver needs a running back. Take him at 9. I don't care. Why not? He's going to start. He's going to play with Melvin Gordon. Take him.
I'll answer your question.
So here's my question. I am all in. Are you all in, on the fence, or out of going to get your guy and not worrying about boards and reaches and what's the right thing to do with D tackles over running backs? I'm all in with go get your guy. I don't care what pick. I don't care what round. I don't care if I have a running back and I want another one. If you like this kid, go get him. I'm all in.
Who do you want to go first?
You go, Kenny.
I'm going to go all in with you too, Kurt. And I'm going to throw a team out there. And I'm just going to throw this scenario out there just to start a pot. 49ers are picking at number 3, right?
Yep.
Moved up. Trevor Lawrence is the can't-miss prospect in this draft in years.
Mm-hmm.
Not trading him for anybody. That's the Jaguars guy. Zach Wilson, in everybody's minds, is the clear-cut number 2 quarterback in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a big drop-off between the other 3, all joking aside. You know, we like things out of Mac Jones. We don't really like Justin Fields, and we don't know what we're getting out of Trey Lance. By what you're saying opened up my mind. Is it out of the question that the 49ers are definitely taking a quarterback here? There's a guy out there I'm going to throw out this name, and just imagine him on this 49ers offense. Kyle Pitts to the 49ers, teaming up on the opposite side of George Kittle. How our defense is going to stop that?
Well, you know what? Sis said it.
Samuel on the outside.
Hey,
Sis got Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a top 20 quarterback in the league. I mean, he's not terrible. You still got Jimmy Garoppolo, and you're an instant Super Bowl contender with Kyle Pitts on this team, I believe.
And Sis said it before. Think about it. Gronk, Aaron Hernandez. Nobody stopped that team. Right?
You team up. How and Coach Breslin comes on and talks to us about defense all the time. You know, you're going to have safeties covering Kittle and Pitts. How do you stop that?
You don't.
So is it out of the question? So I'm all in. What I'm saying is I'm all in. So if the 49ers have Kyle Pitts as their top guy, yeah, I'm doing what I can to get him. You know, is it going to happen? Probably not, but I am all in. Like you said, I would go. It doesn't have to necessarily be a quarterback. I'm John Lynch, 49ers, and Kyle Pitts is a can't miss prospect. I know he may go before I pick, and if I move up to 6, he may go number 5. If I move up to number 7, he may go number 6. Well, I got to move up to number 3 because I know the top 2 picks are quarterback.
Right.
I'm taking it at 3. It's not out of the question. So I'm all in.
Okay. Sis, what about you?
I don't know what category this would fall under, but you guys know me. Again, to me, it always comes down to need. What do you need? What do you need? If I need a tight end, I take the best tight end on the board. If I need a quarterback, I take the best quarterback. If I need a lineman, I take the best lineman, receiver, so on and so forth. That's my answer.
Okay, so you know what? I think Sis would say I would categorize him. I would categorize him all in on that, Sis. Kenny, what would you say?
Yeah, I think exactly agree with what Sis said.
Okay,
it's what you need. You know, and I know like Coach Breslin's saying he agrees with me in regards to Pitts. He doesn't think you trade that much for a tight end, and I agree with that. But I wouldn't put it out of the question. So I'm all in. Like if he's that like Lawrence is regarded as the best quarterback in years. So if this kid on the 49ers board, coach, in my opinion, if this, like, just throw, hypothetically speaking, if this kid is the top wide receiver / tight end on their board in the last 10 years, and he's a can't miss, and the only way they're going to know they're going to get him is if they trade number 3, then I would do it.
Right.
I don't think they're going to do it, but I would if he was regarded that high on my board. I would do whatever it takes to get that guy.
Okay.
So it's a good question. I like that.
Yep.
All in, on the fence, I'm out. Unfortunately, we kind of all agreed. I like when we disagree a little bit, but this one we agreed on. But, you know, different reasons for agreeing, but we did agree on it.
That's fine.
So I was all in. I'm out. We got Paul coming on in a few minutes to do MLB.
Okay.
Before Paul comes on, guys, want to talk a little NBA?
Sure.
And then we got Rapid Trivia, a new segment we brought into the effects this week.
Okay.
We'll do NBA real quick. Little few minutes. We'll talk about NBA. What I want to discuss is these super teams, guys. The Lakers and the Nets versus the rest of the NBA. Do you like the players? The Nets, I'll use that as an example. When is the last time you've seen all 3 of them playing together? And most of the time it's because, you know, they got an ingrown toenail or they woke up on the wrong side of the bed. They don't feel like playing. It's not a major injury over there. And this is the reason why they're sitting. And the same thing in LA. Do you like this? Do you think this will come back to bite them in the you-know-what come playoffs? In a little NBA news real quick, guys, before I do say that, Jamal Murray, Denver Nuggets, torn ACL out for the year. So, yeah, Kurt, I'll ask you, do you like these super teams, one? And do you agree with them sitting out all the time? And do you think it'll come back to bite them in the keister?
Yeah, I think I got a couple points, and I'll be quick. Coach Breslin saying I don't like the rules that these guys are getting out of their contracts and that they are allowed to sign with the teams. Here's my point. You know who I blame? I don't.
I want to throw a couple more names out with the Nets. Blake Griffin sitting, right? LaMarcus Aldridge sitting.
But here's my thing. Just like Coach Breslin said, I don't blame the Nets. I don't blame the Lakers. And I have this conversation with Hoops all the time. You know who I blame? The other teams. Why? The Pistons let Blake Griffin out, right? The Spurs let LaMarcus Aldridge out. Don't let him out. Like he's saying, there shouldn't be these buyouts. Drummond went to the Lakers. Why? You paid him. Sit on the bench or play. But, you know, it's because, hey, you know why? The Pistons wanted money. Okay, I'll give you whatever. Instead of 10, we'll do 6. Go play for the Nets, and I save $4 million. That's on the other teams. Don't create super teams. Don't trade these guys to super teams. So that's on the NBA. I don't blame the Nets. I don't blame the Lakers. But I don't think it's good for, I don't don't know if it's not for basketball. I don't think it's good that these guys sat out. But I saw one thing yesterday, which I wanted to post on Facebook, and I'm going to read to you. This was Reggie Miller, okay, a couple days ago, on what he would say if Michael Jordan recruited him to go play with him in Chicago. Quote unquote from Reggie Miller. I would have told him to go blank himself. That's the problem and the difference with basketball today and back then. These guys, that's my answer.
Not me.
You agree, sis?
Again, I'm not a real big NBA guy. I watch the Knicks. That's my team. But overall, I could care less about the NBA. So that's my answer.
That was my little NBA. We get our few minutes in. Bobby probably not listening tonight. He always that was our little.
He
Nets
always
talk.
chimes in.
You know, we always like to bust chops on the Nets, but I think it's going to come back to haunt these guys, and you know they're going to catch a team that's hot. The Utah Jazz. They might catch the Philadelphia 76ers. They might catch the Milwaukee Bucks hot when the playoffs come. And these guys are it may just come back to bite them this year, and I really hope it does. Like, if I really, really hope the NBA gods are watching up above and they make both of these teams not make the finals this year. That being said, I'm going to bring in Mr. Paul Mulvaney, and I'll have him join us for rapid trivia, since we're doing rapid trivia tonight, and then we'll get the MLB talk in.
Okay. Well, you want to do baseball first? Just because I need to know with the green screen. So where do you want to go first?
Let's ask Sis. Sis, you want to do baseball first or your rapid trivia?
No, do baseball first.
All right,
Okay.
Paul, welcome. Got some baseball talk.
How's it going?
Unlike last week, Paul, we're doing rapid trivia this week.
By the way, Paul, I don't know if you could see, but in the back, we're going to talk little Yankees first, right, Kenny?
Yeah, I love that background, Paul. Love the
Thanks.
display case.
On the new background here also, Coach Breslin will give me, we have Yankee Stadium now behind me. If you could follow that, Kenny. And so away we go. Do you want to talk a little Yankees, Kenny? What do you got?
Yeah, I did some Yankees Mets comparisons. We're what, 11 games in, 12 games in. Paul, I've been saying it. I've been down on this team since day one. It's the beginning of the season, but we are in last place in the AFC East. We're behind the Orioles, behind the Red Sox after 2 weeks. We're behind the Blue Jays and the Rays. And I just don't see a lot of positive things from this team. I got stats in front of me to go over, but the floor is yours to start, Paul. I want your thoughts on this Yankees team, what you like, if you like anything, and what you don't like about this team.
Yeah, I agree. Even though it's early, they haven't been fun to watch, and they're the AL East. I mean, they have issues with Tampa. They got Toronto is showing they're a team to be reckoned with. They certainly have the lineup. Today's game was further proof of that. And Boston now is like the hottest team in baseball, like rattling off 8 wins in a row. And meanwhile, the Yankees can't get a big hit if their lives depended on it. They're playing sloppy baseball. The defense has been horrendous. And I've been the biggest Gleyber Torres supporter, but oh my God, he's just killing us at shortstop. And there's been a few bright spots. I know Judge came back, but a lot of guys aren't hitting. I mean, I told somebody today. I said some people give up sweets. I think Clint Frazier gave up RBI because he doesn't have a single RBI the whole year.
Wow, no RBIs this year.
Zero.
Kurt, Paul, let me insist. Let me throw some stats out there through the first 12 games. And this to me is part of the problem. I'll go through the hitters first. Aaron Judge, he was hurt a couple games. 9 games, 257, 2 home runs before today, 5 RBIs, 8 strikeouts. Again, those stats are misleading because when he faces a good pitcher, you don't see it. So I don't, that's my opinion on him. You got Gary Sanchez, might be overachieving a little bit. He's batting 267, 2 homers, 4 RBIs. Hicks, 200, 1 homer, 5 RBIs, 12 strikeouts. He's got 1 double. Gleyber Torres, like you said, Paul, 205, 0 homers, 1 RBI, 12 strikeouts. Giancarlo Stanton, our Mr. $300 million guy, 175, 1 home run, 9 RBIs, 11 strikeouts. Fraud. DJ LeMahieu, we know we're going to get out of him. 295, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. Jay Bruce, 133, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. That's just some of the starting lineup. That's part of the problem right there, but we knew we were going to get this, guys, right? Right, Paul? Right, Sis? We knew we were going to get this from the Yankees. It's nothing different. Home run or strikeout.
Yeah.
And the home runs aren't there right now. That's the problem.
They're not. A lot of those guys started off the first couple games okay, and then have really tailed off since then. The other concerning thing, this is really concerning, is that once you get past Garrett Cole, the starting rotation has like a 6 ERA, and we've already seen now. Kluber's gone through the rotation a couple of times. Gosh, I'll be the number 2 starter. He should probably be like the number 5 starter if he even deserves a spot on the team. They think he has to build up some arm strength. I watch Kluber pitch, and I just can't help but think like this guy might be shot. This experiment may have kind of been a bomb.
To give you some of the stats, Colts 2-0, 1.47. He's our ace. Then Kluber, like you said, 0-1, 5.68 ERA, 6 innings pitched. He's got gave up 10 hits. Jameson Talon off to a slow start. He's got a 7.56 ERA. Jordan Montgomery, nice solid 4 or 5 starter, 3.27 ERA. And Domingo Germán, we're getting nothing out of him. He's got a 9 ERA. So besides Cole, there's no guarantees, and we're seeing that. And if we're not hitting, you could forget it. We're going to lose 3 out of 5 games every week. And it's just not going to get any better anytime soon, guys. Yes, one of your thoughts on the Yankees.
They're in last place. I mean, there's just you have a multitude of mishaps here.
My thoughts on the Yankees is exactly what's going on. Absolutely nothing. They're not going to win the American East. They're not. It's not happening. Tampa Bay and Toronto already have their numbers as far as what I'm saying. So
Kurt knows me for 40 years. This is the first year I can remember ever not having any confidence in the Yankee team. Every year I'd have confidence in the team. Did I not have any confidence in this team this year, Kurt?
No, not at all.
And it's until something happens, I'm not going to change. Whether that means trading away one of the big stars on the team, or shaking things up and bringing the kids up. Until that happens, I'm not going to change my mind on this team.
I want to jump in one thing because again, I heard what's his name in the morning. He's oh my god, I can't think of his name, whatever. But he's on the show, and he made a great point. Like, again, all we keep hearing is we got Schmidt and Garcia, and oh my God, like Paul just said, they're running out Kluber. Like, this guy, seriously, he might not, it's not even funny. Like, he might not be a Major League Baseball pitcher soon. Seriously. And they're saying, here's our number 2. Where are these young kids? Either trade them or play them. We say it all the time. Remember, we won't trade Andujar for anybody. Well, where's he now? Same thing with all these other guys. It's back to the pitching. You don't have pitching. You have no pitching at all. And you have, oh my God, this minor's loaded, but nobody, I don't understand. Atlanta does it. The Dodgers, how does Atlanta and the Dodgers do it? Last year, you're putting on playoff games, right, Paul? And you're seeing rookie after rookie after rookie, right in game 3, game 4 for those teams. But the Yankees can't do it? Why can't the Yankees do it? I just don't understand. Their pitching is atrocious. I'm not even joking. They're not a good team right now.
Well, Coach Breslin's agreeing with Sis. And he's talking, he thinks they will struggle in the Rays. And I wanted to get into this. The Rays definitely have our number. Better defensively, more speed, and more balanced lineup. And it shows to you, Paul, Sis, Kurt, it shows to you don't need a $200 million payroll to succeed in Major League Baseball.
No, but it's not even that. It's what Sis, and both what Paul, you too, Kenny, what you guys are all saying. It's just how long are you going to let this Cashman mindset of home run or nothing, home run, power, 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 like Coach Breslin's saying, there's nothing, runner on second to start it over. There's no thought about bunting him over. No thought about it. It's if he hits a double, hits a double, hits a home run. Sis says it all the time.
Here's your answer to the whole thing, okay? Real simple with the Yankees, as far as I'm concerned. Cashman and Boone both need to go. That's it.
Cashman's time is done. I agree.
It's at that point came up today on the Michael Kay show. Actually, that now that the Yankees are in a rut here, someone always starts calling out Cashman, and this is where I think it gets interesting. I think, and everything like you said is a problem here. With the Yankees took a big gamble on 2 starting pitchers with serious injury histories over the last 2+ years. We know Cooper was great, but that was back in like 2018. Tayon is coming off, I think, 2 Tommy John surgeries. So they went on this gamble, on these 2 guys, and they put them in their 2 and 3 slots. And right now, it's not looking good. We've already seen Herman get sent to the alternate site. So I think Abreu got called up. I think you're going to see David Garcia. If these guys continue to stink up the joint, like I'm talking Kluber and Tayon and I think Montgomery's okay at the bottom of the rotation.
Yeah.
He's never going to be like great. I think he's like a 12 and 12 pitcher. But
he's the type of pitcher that I would take as like my number 4 or 5 starter.
Yeah.
If we had a solid 2 or 3, I like Jordan Montgomery as a 4 or 5 starter.
But definitely they should consider Garcia. And, I don't know when Severino's coming back. They could try and hold the fort till he comes back. But you don't know how good he's going to be when he comes back because he's had 2 years of injury problems. And the point that was made about Cashman, and I think it's fair, is that, when is that line drawn between, we have a team that wins 90 or more games every year and we get into the playoff every year, but we're packing our bags at the end of by the first round. And, Michael Kay thinks Brian Cashman will get gobbled up in a heartbeat if he's gone. That Cashman, I think has done things that I like too. I mean, he has gone and found some players off the scrap heap, like Voit and Urshela. And I knew nothing about LeMahieu, until he came over to the American League. So, you could say for every good move, there's been a bad move. And we know, the bad moves, stink up the joint like no tomorrow. We know about, we can talk all day about Ellsbury, and now knowing and seeing the Stanton deal, I'm sure we'd want to,
Right.
undo that if we could. And so I don't know. I don't know if, when is just making the playoffs like not become enough? And maybe they don't make the playoffs this year. So I think we have to wait and see. I don't know. I think the getting back to like Gleyber Torres, they gotta get this guy back second base like as soon as humanly possible. I mean, like
They should have never got rid of Didi.
that is so true. As such, and I was even gonna I brought it up before. If you had just spent a little extra money, because I looked it up too. Didi Gregorius signed a 2-year contract for $28 million. He's making $14 million a year, which is really not crazy money.
Right.
And they should also thank their lucky stars that LeMahieu took significantly less money to stay here.
Yep.
He's making $15 million. He could have easily gotten 20 somewhere else. So I mean, they got a big break with that.
Break with him.
But Paul, listen to this.
I know I was on last week, Kurt, and I joked around about this trade idea. Realistically, Cashman's not going to trade Judge in mid-season. But we're already seeing, and at the standings in front of me, we're already seeing the Rockies struggling, 3-8. They got Trevor Story sitting over there. Maybe it's time to give up Miguel Andujar. Maybe it's time to give up a Clint Frazier or a top pitching prospect and go get a Trevor Story to play shortstop and move Torres over to second, like Paul said. And then you have DJ to play first and utilize him at third base on certain days.
But here's the thing, Kenny. I heard this in the morning, and this is crazy. What I'm going to say, they're saying that in their mind, like Cashman, like they don't care. But like as long as Torres just hit 30 home runs, it doesn't matter how bad of a shortstop you are. And that's crazy because, like Paul's saying, in the real world, when it comes down to the postseason, you can't have a bad shortstop. You're not going to win like that. But in their mind, it's just, I want the hitters. I don't care. I don't care how good of a fielder he is. He's going to hit. He's going to hit. And it's like home runs.
I think if
That philosophy has not worked.
Colorado's going to be looking to get rid of anybody that they can. They're going to look for a complete rebuild. And I believe Trevor Story is going to be first on that block. And the Yankees should do everything in their power to get him. And I don't want to hear they asked for too much because that's all
Yeah,
I'm hearing.
but where are they going to play him? They're still going to want Stanton. They're going to play Voit. Where's LeMahieu going to play?
You're going to utilize LeMahieu at first base, third base. You know what?
You'd have to trade Voit.
Outfield.
Make your scenario
You're gonna have to play a little outfield. You're not going to get paid $300 million to bat 175 and barely crack 200 and sit on the bench and just hit 3 times a game and strike out 3 times a game. I'm not paying that. I want him in the outfield.
Yeah, you're gonna run. Yeah, no,
He gets hurt. I'm tired.
He should be playing the outfield. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he's almost guaranteed to get hurt. It's so sad that we say this thing. The guy, playing the outfield. I mean, his injury risk, you could see like the red bar, like going up like that.
Oh, am I crazy? I wish no injuries for any ball player, but a minor injury, let him sit for let him sprain something. He's out for 30 games. Am I crazy that I'd rather have Gardner and Tachman in that lineup than Stanton and Judge?
But here's the thing, though.
You're not crazy because they actually go out there and play. Look at the way the Judge thing was handled while he was sitting those 3 games. We had no idea, like, was he hurt? How bad was it? What is it? And it turned into this like mystery drama thing with the media.
Yeah, I want to get to something with Sis in a second, Kenny. But real quick, Coach Breslin, here, Paul, where is Andujar? Why can't they move him to play third and have LeMahieu play first instead of Jay Bruce? They don't want to trade Andujar for anybody.
Well, Andujar's hurt right now. He's got a wrist injury, so that's going to make him hard to trade. I mean, Gio Urshela hasn't been a problem, and the guy is a superior.
Right.
Oh, no. Gio's the one guy I did not put on this list because I don't have a problem with Gio.
But here's the thing.
I don't have a problem with DJ, and I don't have a problem with Gardner or Tachman.
Kenny, here's a comment. Me and Sis had this statement, I don't know, a month ago, okay? The problem with Cashman, though, is what's Cashman's best move? What was his best move? Like, just player for player, everybody said. I mean, what would you say, Paul?
Real quick with Cashman, Kurt.
No, but I'm saying what move Cashman gets credit for Torres, right? For giving him for Chapman, right? Right? You got okay. Yeah. Here's the deal. You see, they gave up an asset. That was a win-win for both teams. The Cubs won the World Series. They gave up a young prospect, but they gave up an asset. This guy just wants I'll take Mike Trout, but I'm not trading anybody for him. Like, you got to give up to get. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to give up prospects. He doesn't want to give up anybody that's, the Clint Frazier's. How could Clint Frazier be untouchable? And Andujar untouchable in the past 2 years. These guys can't even play now. They're not even on the run. Like, that's what I'm saying. You have to give. You were laughing at me when you say, I can't give up Torres, I can't give up Sanchez, I can't give up Judge, I can't give up Voit, I can't give up. Who's he got?
I know Paul. I'm pretty sure Paul's on the same page with me, and I'm almost positive Sis is on the same page with me. But I know a lot of other Yankee fans, what you just said, Kurt, like, it's fine if you're going to tell me you're going to build a farm system and have all these kids play.
But they don't.
But when you sign a Stanton, when you bring in a Stanton, when you bring in a Cole, a Kluber, and all these guys, and you're not bringing up the youngsters, then you know what? Trade deadline, you need to make that move to go get that pitcher or what you need to get to a World Series. If you're telling me, we're going to build our farm system and bring all our kids up, I'm all about not making any moves at the trade deadline. But when you don't do that and you just go and keep these kids wasting away in the minors, Estevan Florial, I believe this kid's going to be a stud when he comes up. Right. Wasting away in the minors. You don't hear anything about him.
It's like 30 years old now. He's been in the minors.
But it's true, I want to say it was Kenny, me or you or me and Sis, we were like saying the other day, like, there's no way like you can't go in the postseason and be like, hey, we're down 2-1. We got Kluber on the mound. I mean, you joking? That's like Paxton and Happ. Like, those guys you can't count on. So either see right now, like you're saying, Garcia, Schmidt, see what those guys got. If they don't, then it's, hey, I got to go get 2 legit pitchers now. Legit pitchers. Not number 5 guys, number 2 guys.
I know he's not a number one. I know he's not a number two, but you get this kid out of Colorado, he might be a number 3 starter on quite a few teams in the major leagues. Like I said, make a splash, go get Trevor Story, and you know what? If Colorado's in a fire sale, bring back John Gray with him. And that's an improvement over Kluber and Jameson Talon right now.
Kenny, the bottom line is they can't hit, Kenny. That's the bottom line. They can't hit.
Right, and they're
That's
based,
my opinion.
but sis, they're based on having this monster lineup, and they can't
Yeah,
hit.
but and what do? They all strike out. LeMayo
exactly.
comes. It's the same old.
By the way, guys, the Yankees made one correct move, not re-signing James Paxton. He's out for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah, good move there.
Yeah.
But you know what?
You could talk about this till next week. They can't hit. That's it.
Bottom line, Paul, what do you think the Yankees need more of, pitching or they need to make some kind of splash, right?
Yeah,
Whether it's bring up the kids or this lineup's not cutting it. Now you move Stanton up to number 2 and bat him in front of Judge, like that's going to change
The lineup
things.
thing kills me.
It's the same person in a different body.
It's just like the lineup thing, just putting these power hitters in the 2 spot. We could do a whole show on that. I think it's
Yep.
It's me.
It is.
There's one person to blame for that, and that's Cashman. Because if you're going to put Aaron Hicks in the lineup, bat him 2 as a left-handed batter, let him get the runner over to second base or third base, bunt the ball, but the guy will never bunt. They act like this guy's Mike Trout. It drives me absolutely nuts, Aaron Hicks. You know.
It's funny you mentioned the trade scenario because I had one too. And it would likely never happen. But if they really want to try and get, I can do one of 2 things. I mean, and as the season plays out, we're going to see how desperate they get to make a move or how big a splash they're going to need to make. But if they wanted to look at Didi, I can bring him. I can go on about him all day because you had a great fielding shortstop, great defensive player, a lefty batter. He had New York experience and he had playoff experience. Find that in many guys. And, if they were going to bring in a shortstop now, they'd have to use like Luke Voigt as a major trade chip because if you're putting in a new shortstop and Torres goes to second, then LeMahieu has to play first, and then someone's going to be the odd man out.
Yep.
Jay Bruce is getting cut when Voigt comes back, right? So that
he's terrible.
Give him his pink slip. You can start filling
You
it
can
out.
write him off.
Right
I
now.
agree. Yep.
But
He's terrible.
that was my thing. I don't know if you can get a Didi for Voigt straight up because the salaries is about one's making $14 million, one's making about $5 million. So you maybe you throw in like an Andujar and take on a little more salary. But I think he's worth it just because of what you're getting. And the good thing is you kind of know what you're getting because he's.
Do you think the Phillies will do that? Meaning that I know it's a tough division. Their record's 6-5 right now. I think they would trade Didi, and I don't know who they have behind Didi at shortstop over there. That's why I brought up Trevor Story's name. I mean, that's a good opportunity for Luke Voigt to go to Colorado and hit 40 home runs a year over in the Colorado air. And you bring back, but I know what you're saying about the left-handed batter. We need left-handed or switch hitter in this lineup that's going to do some damage because it's too one-dimensional, this lineup, and it's driving me nuts.
Paul, can I say one thing? One thing about, you mentioned Didi, right? And I think this gets unnoticed about Didi, right? He came in having to replace possibly the most popular Yankee, one of the best Yankees, one of the most clutch Yankees. I'm not going to say he made people forget about Derek Jeter because that's never going to happen. But I'm going to say this. He kind of quieted it pretty damn good for, where it's not like, oh my God. And I know Jeter was down his last 2 years, but I give Didi a lot of credit to take that, to go there, get that, have that responsibility to be in the shoes of Derek Jeter. And you know what? He did a pretty damn good job there. So I would feel confident in him.
He absolutely did.
Yeah.
And like the trade scenarios aren't going to play out for a while, and we really know who's in it and who's not. So right now we can speculate. I'm just trying to think of moves that make sense because I don't know. See, Gleyber Torres isn't hitting well enough for us to let his defense slide. He's hitting the crap out of the ball. I think we'd all be a lot more lenient. But when you're not hitting and your fielding is bad, then it's like, you're just going to see all of it. Same thing with Gary Sanchez last year.
Right. I'm gonna say one last thing, Kenny. If you think I'm wrong, I know I could bet $1,000 right now. Sis is going to agree with me. But you know what? You just talked about those old teams. What did DD do? DD had a little power, but you know what? You had confidence, like Sis says. Runner on second, 2 outs. DD can get a hit. Look at the past. Paul O'Neill, Kenny, your boy. Bernie, Paul, your boy. Posada, Jeter. They had power, but they were players. These guys now, like Sis said, it's strikeout, home run, strikeout, home run, strikeout, home run. There's no confidence. Be honest, besides LeMahieu, and you're in a playoff game and you're down a run and there's a runner on second. Seriously, who do you want up? I don't want Sanchez up. I don't want Judge up. I don't know. Maybe I'll give you Voit.
Stanton, don't want him
You
up.
don't want Stanton up. You don't want Hicks up. Who do you want up?
And you nailed it on the head. Look at LeMahieu's stature compared to Stanton and Judge. Do you want the 6'5", 6'6" guy backed up that's going to win a bodybuilding contest?
No.
Or do you want the DJ LeMahieu type, scrappy, in shape, and do everything you ask him to
Listen,
do?
it's nice to have one of those guys in a lineup, but it's like that's their whole team is like that. That's the whole team. It's home run or bust. Like Sis said, I don't know. That's my opinion.
Well, I'll just end the Yankee talk. I'm worried. I've been worried. I'm going to be worried unless we make a huge splash and make a big trade. And, Luke Voit is a nice player. We talked about Cashman and his moves, but compare Cashman to Elway. Elway can't find his quarterback. Cashman can't find the pitcher. Yeah, he got Cole, but we overpaid for Cole. All joking aside, he has not made a good move for a pitcher since he's been, in a long time. And that's why I just wanted to end there. If you guys want to add anything else, I do want to put Kurt on the spot before we finish off tonight with rapid trivia and a quick WrestleMania segment. I do want to put Kurt on the spot, though, guys, if you guys don't mind. Okay. I want to go through them. Kurt, from the off season, mentioned the Mets. Got the billionaire coming, and we're going to make all these moves, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. I know they only played 7 games, but let me give you some of their stats and some of their pitching stats.
Okay.
McCann, their catcher, one of their big off-season signings.
Okay.
190 average, 0 home runs, 1 RBI.
Did hit a 2-run homer tonight.
Okay, I don't have today's stats. Okay. Pete Alonso, 231, 1 homer, 4 RBIs.
Okay.
Here's where it gets good. Jeff McNeil, 150, 1 homer, 1 RBI. The Mets big $300 million guy, Francisco Lindor, 174, 0 home runs, 1 RBI.
Okay.
Are we looking at a fraud? Jonathan Villar gets a pass because J.D. Davis is hurt, but he's not doing that as backup. 278, 0 home runs, 2 RBIs. Dominic Smith, 217, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. The one player who's doing great, and here we go again, like a Brett Gardner type, like a DJ LeMahieu type. Brandon Nimmo, 435 average, 0 home runs, 4 RBIs. Then another bust, in my opinion, and overrated player, in my opinion, Michael Conforto, 130, 0 home runs, 3 RBIs. Now, before you go, let me give you the pitching stats. Same story with Jacob deGrom, arguably the best pitcher in baseball, guys. 2 games pitched. He's 0-1 with a 0.64 ERA.
Right.
14 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 21 strikeouts, and the guy doesn't have a win in 2 starts. Marcus Stroman. I'll give you Marcus Stroman's been great. He's 2-0 with a .75 ERA.
Right.
Then you got Tawan Walker and Peterson on 1 game. Tawan Walker's 0-0 with a 2.6 ERA, and Peterson had a bad start, 13.5 ERA.
Okay.
How are you going to defend this Mets lineup in no support for Jacob deGrom again?
Okay.
You're telling me Your argument was give me DeGrom and give me Stroman and Syndergaard in the playoffs. When your pitcher's 0-1 in 2 starts with a .64 ERA,
Right.
you got problems.
Okay, let me ask you this. Sis, what wins in the postseason? Hitting home runs or pitching?
Pitching.
Okay, so I'll go around the panel. I'll start with Kenny, then go Paul and Sis. In the postseason right now, so you have 2 issues. The Met issue, you know you're going to get the pitching. You need to score 2-3 runs, right? Okay. On the other half, you're going to go Kluber, Montgomery, I don't even know, what's the kid's name from Pittsburgh? I don't know who you're going to go. So you either need one thing to happen. Do you feel more, because I could tell you this, I'm going to put my money on Lindor, Alonso, Conforto, McNeil, those guys getting me 3 or 4 runs as opposed to Kluber and that crew holding the opposite team to under 6 runs or going 3 innings. So that's where, again, you're right. They're underachieving. But with that pitching, you're in every game, baby. You can go toe-to-toe Stroman, DeGrom, and Syndergaard. You're in every series with the Dodgers, with the Braves. You're going to go play the Dodgers, Kenny, with Cole, Kluber, and who? You're confident, and I'm more confident in the Mets scoring 3 runs a game.
I'm down on the Yankees, but I would be down on the Mets too because this lineup is not.
I am down on the Mets. I'm down on the Mets, but
the Mets right now are 4-3. Did they win?
They're up 5-1 going into the 9th, so they should be 5. But they're in first place. They're in first place.
We'll say 5-3.
Okay.
We'll say 5-3. We'll go 4-3. We won't count tonight's game. They should easily have 2 more wins with Tawan Walker's got 10 innings pitched and only given up 3 earned runs.
But you still haven't answered me.
He's had 2 starts.
You still haven't answered me. Wait, you haven't answered me, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Answer.
You should easily 7-1.
But you haven't answered me. Do you have more confidence in the Yankees pitching staff in a playoff series holding the White Sox, the Rays?
No, I don't.
So who's better suited right now, Yankees or Mets?
What was that?
Who's better suited? Who's for the again? I don't care about this regular season. I'm talking postseason. Would you rather have the Yankee team or the Met team? The way they're constructed.
That's tough. I don't know. I'm
taking the pitcher.
I think I would go a little more Mets. If the Mets were in the AFC American League East, I would take the Mets.
What about you, Paul? What would you rather have, the pitching or the one team's pitching, one team's hitting? What would you rather have?
Well, I mean, the Mets have the edge in the starting pitching. I think I like the Yankee bullpen better than the Mets bullpen. With the hitting, I think the Yankee hitting is going to come around. It's just the Yankee hitting is so bad right now. We just feel like, anything's better, but it will come around. I don't think there's any, the Mets have a decent offense. So I think the Yankee offense will be there, but Mets do have the edge in pitching. Interesting point on pitching. This came up this week too. It's fair to say that in New York, the 2 best starting pitchers in baseball play for New York. DeGrom and Cole. And I don't think there's ever been a point in time, at least none that I can think of, where you could have said that before. Like if you go back to the 90s,
good point,
80s, and the 70s,
yeah.
Coach Breslin saying, I think in the postseason I would take the Mets team and the pitching. Sis, what about you? Mets or Yankees? What team? Right? I mean, it's early, but in the postseason, if you had to put, they're going to go, who's built better for the postseason?
Definitely the Mets. And I'm going to disagree with Paul, even though I love him. The Yankees, it's going to be too late when they do come around and start hitting. They're going to be too many games out of first place to catch up. They're not going to make the playoffs. That's what I'm saying.
Wow, that's a big one, Sis.
They're not.
Well, here's where I agree with Paul. I agree with Sis, what he's saying. There's a chance the Yankees might not make the playoffs. There is a good chance.
Well, if that happens, they better clean house. I mean, from
I
everybody.
mean, they got a great bullpen. I agree with Paul, but I mean, the bullpen can't. They can just do so much.
Right. The guy said today, he says, these guys are getting asked to go 6-7 innings. Like, that's
Right.
crazy.
Can't go
Right.
to 10 in the fifth inning every
My
week.
argument with Kurt, Paul and Sis, my argument with Kurt would be because, Paul, you hit it on the button. The Yankee bullpen is better than the Mets. Jacob deGrom's stats show it. 2 games started, he's 0-1 with a .6 for ERA. He's only given up 1 run in 14 innings. That means he's got an average of 7 innings in each game. But he's 0-1 because the bullpen can't win a game.
Right. I'm going to say this one more. I'm
But
going to
when
say
you're
this.
going into a game with a 1-0 lead, you're not guaranteed that you're winning with the Mets bullpen, Kurt.
All right, here's my last point on this, Kenny. Here's my last point, right? Because I'm a diehard Bronco fan, right? And we have everything but a quarterback. We have everything. Top 3 defense, receivers. We have no quarterback, right? And we can't find the quarterback. It's hard to do. Just like pitching. You mentioned Trevor Story. Can the Mets go out and go get Trevor Story? Can the Mets go? The Mets can go get a bat like this, but you ain't going to just go get a number stud pitcher. They're hard to find, Kenny. And the Mets have 3. 3. Yankees have
Don't
1.
say 3. They have 2.
Well, I'm saying
Syndergaard's
Syndergaard
hurt.
comes
You don't know
back,
what you're gonna
you
get from
have
him.
3.
But I will give you a possibility in Tawan Walker. I like it.
Right, but I'm saying
I can't go Syndergaard with somebody who's hurt.
the Dodgers.
If you're saying Syndergaard, I'm going to say we got Severino coming back.
The Dodgers have 3. The Nationals have 2 or 3. The Braves have 5. The Mets have 3. Yankees have 1. That's a problem. You just can't go out and get somebody unless you trade your guys. The Mets got the hard part is the pitching. They got it. You got to go get bullpen and you go get a bat. You're saying, what's the other guy from the Colorado? Charlie Blackmon. Go get somebody like that. But you just can't go get pitchers, Kenny.
The Mets would be a perfect place for Charlie Black.
Exactly. It's not going to cost a lot.
You give up some prospects for Charlie Blackmon, and you put him in the outfield with. I don't like Conforto. I'm just not a fan
No,
of his. He'll come up with some good games.
He's a problem right now for them. But
and Dominic Smith playing out there, I think they can upgrade, and Charlie Blackmon might be a possibility. So we've got a couple minutes left. Do you want any final thoughts on Mets and Yankees, guys? And then we'll finish off, I think, with Sis's trivia real quick.
we're good.
You want to hang around for his rapid fire trivia tonight, Paul, or you got to go?
No, I can hang around.
All right, Sis, you're up. Rapid trivia time.
Well,
No, you know what? Hold on. I'm calling this
before
a
that
different.
starts.
Wait a minute, sis. I'm calling this a
We just-
different topic, sis. You ready for the new name?
Yeah, you call whatever you want.
It's called Hard Hitters with Sis.
Okay. Before we get into the rapid fire,
Hard hitters.
we just picked up Jalen Otis, 6'4", 349 for the Alabama Crimson Tide. Defensive lineman, 6'4", 349 and runs 4.5.
Yeah, they need another
That's
guy like
insane.
that.
That's insane.
They need another
here
guy.
we go. Here we go.
We don't know where this is going, Paul.
What has a bed but never sleeps and runs? What has a bed but never sleeps and runs? Kenny?
A bed of nails.
Nope. Kenny, that's your answer. Okay.
What has a bed but never runs?
What has a bed, never sleeps, and runs? What has a bed, never sleeps, and runs?
I got nothing.
I need
Ben and
Jen.
Neil.
Kurt,
Ants.
a river. Number 2.
River runs.
I'll start with Kurt. What has 88 keys but cannot open a door?
A piano.
Yes. Good guess. Good
I'm done.
guess.
I'm signing off. I'm not going to get any more.
While you're ahead.
Going right back to Kurt. He gets his, I'll buy him Steve's Sizzling Steakhouse. What cannot be used until it is broken, Kurt? What cannot be used until it is broken?
Your heart.
Paul.
I'm guessing Hart was wrong.
Yeah, these questions tonight, you got to think a little bit. Yep.
Spirit.
Wait,
Nope.
we got a comment from the audience. Can I read it?
Go ahead. I cheated. I looked. I'm not going to answer.
The audience,
Okay.
Coach Breslin said an egg.
He got it.
There you go.
Defensive coordinator. Of course he got it. Kurt, what has legs but cannot walk? What has legs but cannot walk?
A TV stand.
Paul?
Table.
Kenny?
Table.
Chair.
Partial credit.
Here's a partial credit.
No.
Come on.
He's getting no credit.
This is like the
Here we
Wiggler
go.
section.
What has no life but can die? What am I? What has no life but can die? What am I? Paul?
Soul.
Kenny?
Who has no life but can die?
Yep, what am I?
Oh. I think I know.
Your car.
Kurt, you're close.
I don't have an answer for that one.
Battery. Kenny was close. Let's move it along. Kurt. The first sport to be played on the moon. Soccer, tennis, football, golf. Then I'll give the answer after I ask the other two guys.
I'm going to say, I have no idea, but I'll say golf.
Okay. Paul
I think golf.
and Kenny.
I'll go tennis.
Kurt and Paul win. It was golf.
There we go, Paul. There we go.
Kurt, I know you'll have the answer for this one. Harry Potter had how many books? 5, 6, 7, or 8? Again, I'll give the answer when we're done.
8.
Paul?
I'll say 7.
Okay. Kenny?
I'll go 6.
I knew Paul was going to get this. He's very studious. Very good, Paul.
Did you know that, Paul?
I knew it was in that ballpark, but I
Okay.
wasn't 100%.
We'll go to Paul. Which nation claims ownership of the Antarctic? I'll give you 4 choices, then I'll go to Kenny and Kurt, and then I'll give you the answer. What nation claims ownership of the Antarctic? The U.S., United Nations, Australia, or no one?
I'm going to
Which
say no
nation
one.
claims own? Which
I'm gonna say no
nation
one.
claims? Excuse me.
I'm going to say nobody because
Okay, Kurt.
I'm with them. Nobody.
What was that
He's
one
riding,
choice?
he's riding your coattail.
Yes, I am.
What was that one choice? Nova Scotia?
No. Which nation claims ownership of Australia? U.S., United Nations, yes. Australia or no one?
Oh, Australia. I'm going to go Australia.
Okay, Kurt and Paul had it. No one.
Good job, Paul.
I don't think
Yeah.
I should have not watched those. I should have read those.
Paul,
wrestling
keep riding your
magazines.
coattails. Kenny, the Space Needle is located in this city. Toronto, Vancouver, LA, or Seattle. Space Needle is located in this city. Vancouver, Toronto, LA, or Seattle.
I know it's
Again, we'll
not
go.
LA. No, it's not Toronto. It's either Vancouver or Seattle. I'm going to go Vancouver.
Okay. Paul?
Seattle.
Kurt?
Vancouver.
Should have wrote his Kurt tail. He won again.
Oh,
Good
look
job,
at Paul's on fire.
Paul's he's very tough with this. Very, very tough.
Shamrock meats.
Got a couple minutes for a couple more, sis.
We're gonna go to Paul with this one. What has 4 fingers and a thumb, but is not living?
Say that again?
What has 4 fingers and a thumb, but is not living?
A glove.
Kurt?
Tree.
Kenny?
I'm going to go one of those foam hands.
Paul again with a glove. Next week we're gonna have to keep Paul off the show. I'm joking. Okay, Kurt, you should be able to get this. Is an easy one for you, Kurt.
Coach Breslin said mannequin.
Yeah, that's a good one. Kurt, when did the Jonas Brothers make their comeback in the music world? I'll give you the dates. 2011, 215, 219, 216.
I'm gonna go
21-16.
I'm gonna go 2015 because that's when the Broncos won the Super Bowl. I remember them singing some kind of song.
Okay, Paul. 215, 211.
2019.
You're saying 219, Kenny?
16.
Paul's eating you people up tonight. 219, attaboy, Paul.
Paul's got his computer open on Google right there.
You keep track of time, how much time we got left.
We got 3
Kurt.
minutes left, sis.
Kurt, what native country is in Brazil? North America, Western America, South America.
South America.
Paul?
South America.
Kenny?
South America.
North America. Here we
What
go.
map you looking at?
It's South
I'm
America.
telling you, it's North.
Hey,
The answer
if
is North
sis says it's
America.
North America, it's North America.
We
What?
have a new map.
What ingredient is important to cook a savory dish? Sugar, butter, salt, or pepper? Paul. What ingredient is important to make a savory, excuse me, to make a savory dish?
Salt.
Kurt,
Butter.
Kenny,
Pepper.
Paul again.
Last one, sis. Give us one more.
You got it.
By the way, breaking news, the New York Knicks have won their first 4-game win streak of the season. Let's go.
All right,
Let's
Paul.
go.
Paul, if you get this one, Paul, I'll buy you a steak dinner the next time I see you. What has teeth but cannot bite? What has teeth but cannot bite?
Zipper.
Hold on, I'll give you the. Oh,
I think he owes him a
Okay.
dinner.
Zipper, saw, comb. What did you say?
Oh, I'll have to stick with the zipper.
Okay. Kurt?
Oh, it's got to be comb.
Okay. Ken?
Zipper.
Paul, what's your favorite restaurant?
The one in South America, I think.
The Brazilian one in North America.
Yeah, the Brazilian steakhouse in North America.
Brazilian food.
Next week, I'm going to have to really dig into my bag of tricks.
Oh, if you got Paul, you better.
This
Sis,
guy's
awesome
too
job,
good, man.
sis.
Guys,
Good
too
job,
good.
sis.
Sis don't play around, man. Sis did his homework. You know what, Paul? So I
Never know
talked.
what you're gonna get
It's a
from
lot of
sis.
notes.
Last week it was Yankee trivia. This week a little miscellaneous riddles. You never know what you're gonna get from sis.
I gotta
That's
tell you
all.
one funny story, Kenny and Paul. You're gonna love this. I talked to Sis. I called him on my way home from school. It was about 4:00. So I call him. He goes, "You know what? This is ridiculous, man." He goes, "The Yankees started 1:00. It's 3:40, and I just got finished with our stuff for tonight's show." So Sis worked today, man. Sis worked.
Good job.
Sis worked. But
Good job, sis.
no, really, guys, thank you. Great show tonight, Paul. Thank you for coming on, talking Yankees, getting us fired up with the Yankees.
Thanks for having me.
We'll obviously
job,
talk.
Paul.
We'll always talk Yankees with Paul. Sis, great job on all your stuff tonight, Mr. Kirkpatrick. Wear that Nick hat, baby. We're coming.
Next week we'll do a full mock draft, and we'll have some fun with that. Not sure if we'll do it on Wednesday show or Thursday show yet, but we'll have a little fun with a full mock draft with trades, and we'll go from there. Some football news that I forgot to mention. James Conner signed with the Cardinals. I
Yes.
think that's a nice smart move for them. Little insurance at running back.
Yep.
I like that move. Now, there's a sleeper for, we'll get into the mock drafts next week, but there's a sleeper for Najee Harris, Travis Etienne at running back
Yeah.
in the first round. So
Yep.
we'll see. But,
Kid's a
great
beast,
show.
man.
Thanks,
Najee Harris is a beast. And I hate to see him go to the Ravens.
I agree.
Awesome job commenting, everybody, and asking the questions. Sis, good job. Paul, thanks for coming on. Kurt, always good job. Tomorrow, Wits and Wagers. We'll do, we'll do some basketball, maybe baseball bets, and we'll play a little game show type game with you guys tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good.
We'll do something.
Good
I got
enough.
something up my sleeve for half the show tomorrow. We'll have some fun with it.
Sounds good. By the way, last thing,
Good
Coach
enough.
Breslin saying breaking news: Washington football team signed a tight end that played basketball. Check out his combine stats. So we got to look into that. But thank you, Coach, for that. And guys, tomorrow we'll see you guys with some wagers, and then next week.
Thank you.